What a way to start the early AM than look into this pretty face. This is Good Morning Sri Lanka. I'm your host, Jason.
And I'm Amaya. Good morning, Sri Lanka. It's the 1st of July, the start of another month, and already half the year has gone by. Doesn't time go really fast, Jason?
To be honest, it's been the most productive year since.
Has it?
Yeah, and I'm really excited. It's the 1st of July, and I was thinking about bringing confetti on set and just throwing it all over the place.
That was Jason's bright idea, confetti on set, because it's the 1st of July. But congratulations on making it through half of the year, and we have one more half to go in 2013. And today's show is going to be a very exciting one, and we are very excited about the guest that we're having on show today.
Of course.
Later on, we'll be joined by Dr. Namal Senasinghe, who'll be doing his usual segment on pain management with us. But right now, I think Jason's going to introduce the very special person we have on set today.
Well, yes, of course. If you look at pop music in Sri Lanka, it's moved really fast since the early 90s. And now today we have a great pop sensation in the studio, someone that's really moved forward with her work. We have Natasha Ratnayaka. Hey, there she is. Good morning.
Good morning, Natasha.
How are you?
How are you?
Let me give you a hug.
No.
We are trying to be enthusiastic, but we're all mic'd up and stuff.
Good morning.
I feel like
Refuse him.
I'm refusing to get up to Natasha. No, of course not. How are you?
Good, great actually. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
How's the
Excellent to be
morning
on
been
show.
and stuff?
Usually I'm not a morning person, but I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, because I have that effect on a lot of people.
I had that effect on people.
Well, anyways, you're here to speak about your music and
Yes.
everything else. That's since you've started since
I
day
was
one.
here actually a few months back, I think when it was the birthday celebration.
Oh
of
yes, of course.
MTV.
And she sang "Happy Birthday."
Yes.
And you were there.
No,
Unfortunately, I
actually
had
you
some other.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really wanted to come, but I was like, you know what? I missed it, so it was unfortunate. So tell us, how's life been? How's things going
exciting,
with the music?
hectic. Actually, hectic is more the word.
But you're enjoying it still.
I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Right now, there's so many changes taking place. Getting used to the transition.
Right.
To start off, is I just got signed to an international record label based in Australia.
Oh my God!
And this is the big news that you want
Everybody
to
in
share
the studio
with all your
dance.
fans as well.
Dance, everybody, dance, my monkeys. But it's exciting news. Yeah.
It's been one hell of a roller coaster for me because making the transition. Sri Lanka is this is my territory. This is my comfort zone, but I'm stepping into a whole different. Not really comfort zone, obviously a different territory altogether, and it's nerve-wracking, but it's challenging at the same time, and I want to take on that challenge just purely for me. It's exciting. It's really exciting.
And for those of you who are not familiar with your background and how you started out, could you tell us something about your roots? You started out in the church choir, is it?
Yes.
Which is where a lot of aspiring pop stars start out, actually.
I sang in the school and church choir, and I never really wanted to be a singer. That was the last thing on my mind.
Really?
Yeah.
What was
actually.
your ambition when you were younger?
All sorts. I wanted to be a dress designer. I wanted to, I don't know, quite a few actually. Dress design was one, then modeling. I got into it obviously later on. But singing was definitely not something I wanted to do. But I've always been linked in some way or the other to music, performing arts. Dancing was something I always wanted to do, and yeah. So
you didn't choose it, it chose you, is it?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I
And you
guess.
were part of a pop group back
Yeah.
when you were starting out. and
I was a part of a pop group called the Dream Team, and that's my grounding, I would say. I was with them for about 2 years, and then I went solo, and then I went overseas. I came back, and then I got into the jazz circuit, and then I kept changing. I kept innovating myself and pushing myself to do different things. And now it's a whole different thing altogether. So it's been life challenging actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now getting back to now, since you mentioned Dream Team back in the day, how did it start? Did you and your friends? Was it your friends that actually they were there? You know what? We should start a band.
No,
Destiny's Child Sri Lankan.
No, actually, you know what? I was looking for an apartment, and the owner of the apartment, the landlady, while signing the agreement, she was like, Natasha, we're looking for a female singer, and any friends of you who could sing, please let me know. And so I had sung in a choir, quite a couple of choirs, and I told her, yeah, Miss Sunetra, I could maybe audition. And she, without any hesitation, she was like, I think you should. Next week is the audition, you should go and audition, and then who knows. So I did audition, and the rest, they say, is history. Yeah. Thereafter, it was one experience after the other that led me to kind of owning this as my destiny.
Right. Did you write your own songs when you were in this little group, or did all three of you, just collaborate together and just track?
Some songs were kind of co-written.
Okay.
Some songs were written by a producer.
Right.
But it was like a collective kind of project. Yeah,
okay.
It was always a collective project.
Right. So after that, you moved straight on to jazz music. Straight after that. Okay.
While I was with the band, it was actually a cover band, so not too many original material was produced.
Right.
So it was like my initial grounding. I learned everything, almost everything, which I do on stage with the band. And then it came to a point where it was getting kind of boring. So I needed a change. So I went solo, and then I went overseas for about 2 years to Kenya.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was an interesting experience. Yeah. Then I came back, got into the jazz circuit. I had to start from scratch, obviously, when you overseas and you come back and you again.
Of course, yeah.
So it was difficult because no one, when you're overseas, you come back and no one really knows you. You start from scratch altogether again. So, but fortunate for me, I mean, whatever I did, people liked it, and I've been really blessed, I would say. Anything that I did, people would applaud it, or the reception was always great. So it's been good. It's been really great.
But from that point to now, I mean, in 2008 you released your first single, which was Runaway.
Yeah.
Tell us the story behind that, and because you came a long way from when you started out to that point.
Yeah, that was, what, I started working with the producer, and I didn't really have any how do I say it, there was no how do I say it?
Technical difficulty. Please wait for us to get back to you.
There was no direction for it. We just worked on it. We were not going to approach any label, or it was just a spontaneous thing that happened. It just and
the natural evolution to the next step.
Exactly.
I see.
Once I did the single, I had a few contacts in LA. I sent it, and then he loved it, and he put it onto a few compilations. Radio Express.
Wow.
Yeah, Mark Brower is a dear friend, and he saw potential in it, and she was like, "This is really great, Natasha, and would you mind if I put it on a few compilations?" And obviously, I didn't know what he was talking about, and he's like, I'm going to put in a few compilations, so it'll get global airplay. I was like, what?
So it was played in so many other countries as well.
Well, how did you feel, really, when he said, you know what, your song is going to be heard by millions of people around the world?
I was sitting there, and I was reading the mail, and I was like, I was a little shocked.
I'm sure you were.
Just sitting there, just staring. Somebody walks in, what are you doing? Just excited. It's over there.
I was speechless, actually. But
so would you say that was your first big break?
Yes, I would say that was actually, that started everything. All my original, my as an artist, as a recording artist. That was the initial, that was the inception of the start,
Great, awesome. All right, we'll be back with more Natasha after the break. But do visit our Facebook site on www.facebook.com/Good Morning Sri Lanka. Click the like button, and we'll be back with more Natasha.
and we're back with us. We're speaking to an established musical sensation in Sri Lanka, Natasha Ratnayake, and we're very happy to have you
Thank
here
you
with
for
us
having
today.
me. It's
Yes.
always a pleasure to be here.
So we spoke
This
about...
is like second home.
That's
Yeah.
very nice to hear.
It is.
I tend to have that effect on people. I'm going to keep saying that every time she gives us a compliment.
Please, Jason, nothing to do with you. And so we've spoken about how you started out your career, but tell us where it is now. And you've just signed a contract for a label in Australia as well. And
It's pretty exciting. It's a lot of work though. Only now I really appreciate, not that I didn't appreciate it before, but I now appreciate all the hard work that all the artists there put in, because you really understand what really goes in, up to your diet, your every single thing, literally every single thing.
You're not only focusing on your voice and your music,
No, everything.
but it's on how you look to the world, I guess.
Everything. Image is pretty much 70% of it.
Right. And would you find this work, how would I put it? I wouldn't call it hard work, but you would say it's, but you love to do this. You're very happy to do this.
Yes.
But there's so much of work that goes into it. Is there a time that you're like, oh,
It's
maybe
pretty
I just need a
intense.
break?
It's pretty intense actually. When you're working, there is no break.
Right.
So that's what I'm kind of getting used to. While I'm here, you know, you always have a breathing space. You know, you work in the studio and then you have time, but you're always on the move. They tell you exactly what to do and how to do it, and so it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. I'm kind of getting used to it, but I've still not got used to it. I'm going to get used to it. So hopefully next month I'll be in Australia to record new material and shoot videos, and so it's pretty exciting. So much to do. That's
and
all I
this is
can
something
say.
that not many Sri Lankan artists do, right? I mean, this is a
haven't.
very
That's true.
big deal for you to be doing this and representing Sri Lanka. It's like a global platform.
I guess so. I know there are a few others out there doing keeping the flag
Yeah.
flying high.
Will you be wearing the Sri Lankan flag as a t-shirt or something next time you go on stage?
Maybe.
Awesome. Live Nation represent, you know.
I love seeing the Sri Lanka flag anywhere in an international event.
Absolutely.
It's very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brings a lot of pride, I think, and that's
Absolutely.
definitely something
I
that.
think Sri Lankans will always be Sri Lankans, and we need to keep the flag flying high.
Flying high in the
So tell us about your newest single, which is Taking It Off. And you have a video out as well. It's available online. It's available on her fan page as well. So check it out. And tell us about the story behind the single and what it was like to come
It
up
was a
with that.
feel-good track. I did it with the Sheriffs. Obviously, the Sheriffs were featured on it, and then we did the video last year. We started shooting the video in June last year, but obviously took forever to complete because there were two production houses that got involved in kind of editing the process.
Okay.
And I rejected about 6 or 7 edits because I wasn't really happy with it. But there came a point where I couldn't, and I was like, okay, this is it. I'm just gonna release it now. I think I've done enough.
Yeah, but I mean, there comes to a point when. But actually, do you feel that was a good production? Like the video, did you feel that it linked very well with the song?
I know it could have been better.
Right.
I know the video could have been better, but obviously there's only so much that you can do when you come to after a certain point. You just have to just let it go. But considering everything that was done and was released, the reception was